Hey, what's going on, guys? Zach Henderson here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the value and the importance of doing more of the basics in order to advance, as opposed to this idea of doing different advanced variations of exercises in order to get stronger. So I'll illustrate that with a simple point. If getting better at doing simple push-ups can make your bench press better or stronger, there's no need to do specialized pressing type movements, even if you've already mastered a certain level of strength and technique with the bench press. So if you can get more value and more training adaptation from basic, even bodyweight calisthenics as it translates into something like powerlifting, why wouldn't you go deep and take advantage of the wellspring of progress that you could enjoy simply from doing more of the basics? So that's one example, but specifically the reason I bring this up is as it applies to core-oriented training. And what I think that we don't do enough of are the basics of isometric holds as they apply and benefit to the core. So what I'm going to show you guys today are just a couple of the moves that I've been doing lately, both with myself and with some of my students, in order to work on core strength, but without necessarily getting into more advanced type core exercises, or really even adding that much more amount of training volume. So specifically we're talking about holds here, and obviously planks are where you start with and where you end with. But I'm just going to show you a couple of things I've been doing lately that are maybe a little bit more advanced than your standard plank, something to add a little bit of variety, and something that you should probably start experimenting with and incorporating as either active rest in between other sets of heavier exercises, or even as part of your warm-up. So let's take a look. All right, so the first move is the half hollow body hold. So essentially what you're gonna do is come on down onto your back, flatten the low back against the floor, and the half position comes into play here. We're gonna leave one hand and one foot flat, non-working, opposite hand, opposite foot, come out like so, okay? So you can relax your head back. So, the main reason this is different, obviously, from the full hollow body position is that you're really working on one cross section, one sling, if you will, at a time. So, what that does is, especially if that's not a position that you're used to, that's allowing you to practice the hollow body position with an extended arm, extended leg in such a way that it's not going to tweak your back, and it's not going to be too hard on any one particular muscle group, so that you can get into the habit of holding that particular position for a longer and longer period of time while being able to focus on the core engagement. So that is the half hollow body, one foot down, one hand. I like to just keep it on the stomach just to emphasize the core engagement, but it's as simple as that. One side planted, one side extended. Half hollow body hold. All right, guys, so the next move is a one arm push-up position plank that we can also move into a side plank. So I'm gonna set up with somewhat wide feet, somewhat narrow hands, square myself up, remove one hand. This in and of itself may be plenty of challenge, but from here, you can rotate the torso out, even pop that foot up if you so choose, and then reach up and down. Same thing, come back to square if you can, without using your opposite hands. Reestablish contact, other one comes up, rotate over, reach up. Back to square, get your position first, then put the hand down, okay? So, as you can see, maybe not exactly a pure isometric hold-oriented exercise, but instead what you're doing is finding a position, finding stability, rotating that, finding stability, etc., etc. So essentially you're flowing from one position to the other. So starting with one arm coming up, then adding the twist. So that is the one arm plank to side plank. All right, y'all, so the last move is probably the most advanced, and here we are talking about L-sit variations. So what I would recommend is you start in a cross-legged position. You're just gonna put your hands down right in front of your sit bones, flex the triceps, and you're just gonna bring your butt right up off the floor. Obviously keeping your core tight. This is phase 1, okay? Phase 2, obviously we're gonna try to bring the feet up off the ground. So, same thing, triceps, shoulders down, pop the feet up. Okay? So, very, very good exercise. Obviously you're strengthening a lot of the upper body with the core, and then of course you're really getting into good shoulder mechanics by practicing getting those scapula away from your ears, which is something that we all need to work on. From there, you can obviously go into the straight leg version. So, same idea from here. Just lift your butt up off the ground. That's plenty. In fact, this is probably where people need to spend more time way before they go to a bar for hanging leg raises. And then of course, let's see if I can bring my feet up off the ground. For a couple of seconds, I certainly can. So, there you have it. Some different progressions you can do from an L-sit just by sitting on the ground. As with all these exercises, the great thing is you don't need any equipment, you don't need a gym, you just need gravity. And as far as I can tell, you have free access to that every single day. So, give these a shot. Find the accompanying blog post linked below and enjoy your training.